Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth got a patch. So if you were doing the trophy can't stop, won't stop, and you were unable to progress after the G-Bike, you could finish it, but it just wasn't progressing. That's been fixed. There's also been a few other little details regarding the patch and little bug fixes and stuff like that. And in this video, I want to go over that stuff along with a few little things, little updates on part 3 and so on. So the patch notes for Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, this is update 1.030. These patch notes include fixed a bug and a side quest can't stop, won't stop that occurs in chapter 12 that may prevent the quest from progressing even if the G-Bike clearing conditions are met. In order to progress through the quest, you will need to meet the conditions for clearing the G-Bike again after the update. So if you've already done the conditions and stuff after the update, you'll need to go back and do it again for it to actually count and progress forward. If you've already completed the quest, your progress will not be reset. So if you've already done all this and it didn't get bugged for you, you're fine. Just continue on as normal. You're good to go. Another bug that was fixed when proceeding with certain procedures and certain research reports. The battle simulator, in rare cases, new courses were not being released. Fixed a bug where if certain conditions were met, the favorability would not increase even if you selected an option that would increase your favorability. If you had experienced a bug with obtaining the trophy Cactuar Crusher, even if you'd met the conditions, this bug is now fixed and you can now get that trophy. It fixed some problems where loading save data that occurred under certain conditions, as well as the phenomenon of forced termination and inability to progress during play. And then it fixed some other display bugs and small stuff like that. That's pretty much it as far as like all the bugs and stuff that have been updated and fixed in this new patch. One thing that I did notice that got pointed out on Twitter from Uncle Ben the Rice Guy, they had pointed out that this stamp used to be this is in Junon, this stamp used to be a Terrier stamp, which indicates that different timelines or whatever, however you want to interpret that, it's been patched and it is now the correct one, which is the Beagle. So they did patch a few things in the game to make things more, I guess, cohesive, make it make more sense. And then one final thing I want to talk about is we got some Ultimania information and stuff now. And shout out to Audrey on Twitter. I will link her stuff down below in the description. Definitely check her out. She's covering and translating all this stuff for us. So huge shout out to her. This says FF7 Remake Part 3's main story has already been completed and Nomura thinks they will perhaps start voice recording in the near future. He remarks that Katase proposed an idea to him about something very important to include even though it wasn't in the original game, and Nomura is pondering how to deliver. He thinks it will surely make people happy if they can do it well. Could this be a full-on revival of Aerith and everybody get their happy endings? Katase hopes to deliver an amazing product for Part 3 without having to sacrifice quality over time. He says the reason why Rebirth was such an efficient development period was because they retained the same staff as previous installments, and Part 3 will also have the same team. So nobody's changing, it's going to be the same staff, same team, and they're just moving forward, and it sounds like they're pretty far into everything. Katase mentions Rebirth was actually done within 3 years, since about 1 year was in developing DLC, and he hopes to be able to stick within that schedule in Part 3. So we can look to see about 2027, I imagine, which would put Rebirth Part 3 to drop. The conclusion of this trilogy, it would put it to drop on the 30th anniversary of the OG FF7, which is perfect timing, I think. So if they can nail that down and get that out, that'd be great. And then one final thing that I kind of want to talk about, because it kind of sucks and it's a bit sad, but Katase has hopes that the world of FF7 may continue on even after finishing up the FF7 Remake Project Trilogy, but they need to wrap up Part 3 first and foremost. So this is good, this means that we'll likely get more stuff to do with FF7 after Part 3. I was under the interpretation that once Part 3 is done, they're gonna kind of not leave it behind fully, because this is Final Fantasy 7 is pretty much Square Enix's flagship franchise now, but they would like kind of just put it on a back burner for quite a while. That makes it sound like this makes it sound like that there's more stuff to come even after Part 3's out, which I'm so down for. Can we get a Dirge of Cerberus remake, remaster, or just completely just redo that from the ground up? That'd be sick. Let's learn some more stuff on Deep Ground. Let's learn, just give me as much stuff. I don't want to leave the world. So I don't want to leave the world or the characters. But he thinks Part 3 will perhaps be his last involvement with the game in the FF7 series due to his age. In lieu of that, He wants to bring this trilogy to a close with hopes that Cloud and all characters will be happy at the end. He wants to finish the trilogy on a positive note without leaving behind any unfinished business, but that's just his own personal opinion on the matter. So, one, this is likely Katase's last hoorah in the franchise with FF7, which we kind of all expected that because I think he's mentioned that before. So that sucks, and I hope this is like his little love letter to the series. But what I wanted to kind of point out is Katase wants to bring this trilogy to a close with hopes that Cloud and all characters will be happy at the end. And if you pair that with what was mentioned here, Katase proposed an idea about something very important to include, even though it wasn't in the original game, and Nomura is pondering on how to deliver. My interpretation, and I could be way off, and I know I'm probably gonna catch flack for this, but just hear me out and just chill out, okay, breathe. This sounds like we could actually get a happy ending with Aerith not living, but maybe another timeline Aerith, you know, that has just Aerith coming back, and maybe even Zack coming back, and the whole party gets their whole, you know, their happy ending, which is great, which I would be down for. And I know this contradicts the whole part 3 coincides or will lead up to Advent Children, but I really don't think it leads into Advent Children the way we think it does. I think that's, personally, until part 3 comes out, I think the whole Advent Children leading up to it, I don't think it's true, or I don't think it's as true as everybody thinks it is. It might lead up to Advent Children a little bit, but we might get a new Advent Children in some capacity in part 3 or DLC, or maybe a brand new movie with all the new voice actors voicing everybody with a proper, you know, there could be that. But that's what it looks like to me. So it sounds like, I know people hate that idea, which, to be fair, I mean, but I like happy endings, and I would love to see all the characters happy and survive. So that's just me. But let me know in the comments down below if you are for or against a happy ending for FF7 part 3, or just in general, because I'm down for the happy endings. Give me the happy sappy endings, please. I personally think you can deliver that and it still be impactful and emotional to the story, but I know I'm very, very much on the minority on that end. But as always, be sure to like and subscribe for more Final Fantasy VII content, and thanks for watching. Check out this video here for more Final Fantasy VII content, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.